And when the action begins, our referee in charge, William Bookwalter.
Bill Bookwalter will call the shots.
Here I stand, innocent and lost, broken limbs, prove that I am guilty by dissociation, on an accessory. Guilty by dissociation, on an accessory.
ChkM8 MMA.
Hey, back on the internet live again. Fight Show episode 79. Powered by ChkM8 Specialty Roasters, as always. Which you can find on the all-new ChkM8MMA.com, which coincidentally Friday will have this guy in the lower right-hand corner, Devin Gomez's merch, go live. For those of you that don't know who he is, you'll find out here in a couple minutes. Tanner C. To my, I guess, right, if it's lined up the same way it is on my screen, GL3 below me. Bill Bookwalter in the land of overtime, so no Bill Bookwalter this week for those of you tuning in. If that's all you came here to see, sorry, he's not here this week. For the rest of you that are sticking around, and for those of you on Instagram and YouTube, episode 79, we're back again. Sterling from Houston is supposed to join us, but as usual, if you're here to see Sterling, he might not be here. You know why? Because he sometimes is a disappointment. He may be late. He may not show up at all. It's hard to tell because, you know, I sent the link and he's still not here. So we'll continue to give him shit live on the internet until he shows up. And if he doesn't, he may never get invited again. You never know.
Missing out.
But I will kick it to Tanner to kind of intro this guy because they've already had their little dance that they've done with the interview process. So let him go. Devin's just going to hang out tonight. Anybody has any questions for him? GL3, you got questions for him, Tanner? Anything you didn't get to cover, just hit him off as usual. But he's kind of just here hanging out, helping to build his brand, introduce himself to our community, and let you guys know that you should be giving him a follow on socials if you don't. But Tanner, go ahead and tell him about your boy.
Yeah, for sure. We got a guy out of Wichita, Kansas here going undefeated in his last few years of high school wrestling and transitioning that into amateur MMA where he's 3-0 right now, I believe, coming off 2 finishes, coming off the headlining ETFC card, getting a guillotine finish. What round was that?
It was in the first round.
First round, man.
Yep.
Man, that was quick. So
yeah, everyone told me it was a little too quick. Take longer next time.
Quick. That's good though. I mean, was that like kind of the game plan, or did it just kind of like opportunity present itself?
I mean, I feel like in a fight, it's a serious enough thing. If you get the opportunity to finish a fight, you should do it immediately because you never know. Anyone can get caught at any time. So that's kind of how I feel. And obviously right now I'm looking to stay active. So getting in there, getting a quick win without any damage done to me was the goal. So I was pretty happy with the finish.
Hell yeah, dude. You don't get paid for overtime, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Do not get paid for overtime.
All right. So you talk about not taking any damage. I mean, you're looking kind of pretty for a guy that got into a fist fight a couple weeks ago. You got any what you thinking about next? Are we already thinking about next? Or we?
This kid was just jet setting all over Europe and shit. Just
I was gonna get to it.
Yeah, no, he's sitting over here looking pretty. He's sitting over here on the phone with me talking about jet lag while we were talking the other day. So, no, he's the kid's all right, man. He's doing all right.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good after vacation.
Heck yeah.
It was a good time. As far as like what's next for fighting goes, right now I'm waiting to hear back. Me and my coach are waiting to hear back on June 21st in Kansas City. So and that'll be under Synergy is the promotion name. So I'm really excited. Hopefully we can get on there. I've been trying to get on there for a while now. And we'll see if the matchmaker finally wants to let me on because I want all the smoke. So I'm ready to fight under them. So let's put it together, man. We've been calling them for a while now. So hopefully
you heard it here.
Yep.
Synergy, sign this boy.
June and September will be another EFC matchup here in my hometown in Wichita. So I'm super excited for that. I don't know who I'm fighting in either of those matchups yet. So hopefully they get them confirmed because that's the hard part for me.
It doesn't matter who it is, though, right?
No, I don't care. I don't care. They seem to care when they see it's me, but
Right.
I'm ready. I'm ready to fight, man. I love doing it. So whoever wants to get out there.
So you talk Synergy. Is that one of the bigger promotions around your area?
I would say so. More so up Kansas City area for sure. They don't really do any fights in Wichita right now. It's just exclusively the Kansas City, Missouri area. But the way that they do their promotion and advertising, it's pretty professional. It looks good. Like I said, it's something I'd love to be a part of. It's just a matter of getting on a fight card. So
Right, right. No, for sure. And yeah, no, definitely it'd be nice to definitely get a step up in promotion or step up in competition. Hopefully that could lead to it
yeah,
as well. I mean, that's great. So yeah, Garrett was just mentioning it too a little bit. You got to take a little time off after this fight, well deserved, of course. So yeah, tell us a little bit about that, man. Sounds like you were going all over the place.
yeah, we hit. I think if I can remember correctly, it was 5 different countries and 13 different cities that we hit in a matter of 10 days. So as much as it was a vacation, we did a lot of walking, a lot of sightseeing. I was pretty tired by the end of it all, but it was well worth it. I was seeing everything. And first stop was in London, and London's a super cool city. If you ever have a chance to go visit London, definitely go do it. Um, London, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, Northern Ireland, all kinds of cool places, and there's too many castles over there to count. So if you've ever wanted to see a castle, go to Scotland and Ireland because it's beautiful over there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard they were like giving grant money to people that are trying to rebuild the castles over there. I don't know how true that is, but
yeah,
yeah.
they're doing reconstruction on some of them, and then there's like certain ones that they've left pretty untouched, and then other ones that they've kind of revamped into more touristy kind of attractions. So, but yeah, they're pretty cool. A lot of history. Everywhere you go, there's something historic and meaningful, and it's really interesting learning about the history of the royal families and all the crazy things that happened in London and with the revolutions, and even what's currently going on. I don't know if something that I realize is kind of how sheltered we are with the media here in the United States is like what compared to actually what's going on in the world. It's important to educate yourself because
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea there was a revolution or not a revolution, a civil war in Northern Ireland in Belfast. So and that was going on all the way up until 1998. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so and there's still a lot of divide in the community, and we got to go sign it's called the Peace Wall, and over there it was a really cool experience. So if you ever have the chance to travel, definitely do it. It's well worth it.
Ireland is definitely on the bucket list for me. I would say
Oh
more
yeah,
so than London,
Dublin.
but
Dublin is fun. Dublin's cool.
Did you go to the Black
Yep.
Forge Inn?
What's that?
Did you go to the Black Forge Inn when you were there?
No, I did not. I did go to the Guinness storehouse though, the Guinness factory, and got to see how that was made and everything, and that was super cool. Having a fresh pint at the Sky Bar up there, it's
Ain't
pretty
flight
awesome. So
like $40 whenever you're over like London and Ireland way, like to one another and stuff too? I think they're like extremely cheap to
yeah,
fly.
no, they're not super expensive, and they're not long flights by any means either. So yeah,
Oh, that's nice. You'd be able
it's
to.
different than flying over here, which we didn't fly. We were on a bus tour going through to all our stops, and like when we went to Ireland, we took a ferry ride over there, and that was cool going on the water and everything. So my girlfriend gets seasick, so it wasn't very fun for her, but I mean I liked it. I had fun. So
Ah,
but yeah,
Yeah,
the
no,
coolest
it's the.
castle,
Oh, my
coolest
bad.
castle
It's
was in
the.
Cardiff. Are you good, man?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Coolest castle is in Cardiff, in Wales. Cardiff Castle in Wales. If you guys want to look that one up, that one's crazy. The architecture on that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean
check that
trains,
out.
trains and ferries over there, guy. Like it's essentially like hopping state to state for us. But I remember
hmm
my sister got her master's in London and then in Dublin. Like she finished in Dublin, and literally every other weekend she's, oh, I'm over. I went to Greece, or I'm like, what are you doing? No, it's literally, oh, we took a train here, we did this, we did that. It's really not. Once you're over there to kind of get around and experience all of it. So kind of cool that you got the chance to see a bunch of it. I don't know what they're teaching you guys in school behind me, but like I knew about the IRA and the. But anyways, I'm
Yeah,
old, so all right,
well,
yeah,
the
carry on.
Cranberries song.
Well, yeah. All right. If that's how you relate to Tanner Canada, go ahead.
I don't know why that's what I immediately thought of. Like, but no, no, that's really cool. Yeah, it's like traveling state to state is like traveling country to country over there. It's crazy. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, it sounds like you just been having a good time and living enjoying the rewards of it. I mean, great to let people know that there's a light on the other end of the hard work that's being put into this kind of stuff. So I guess we'll just talk about you a little bit as a fighter. I guess with this new platform and stuff like that. I guess we just like to always ask people like why they fight. I mean, I've asked you that before on another interview before, but I guess just give us just a little insight into your motivation. I mean, it can change over time, and now you're a few fights into your career.
Yeah, I feel like I was just born to do this. As far as with wrestling goes, I was wrestling for a long time and ended up stopping doing that. And I was actually detailing for a little bit, and I had a detailing business and just decided that wasn't it for me. And I had a lot of different paths that I tried to pursue, and it just, for whatever reason, didn't work out. And I was like, well, what now? And I ended up back into a gym. So, and I never looked back, and I've loved it ever since. So it's been important to me for sure. And I guess now moving forward, my motivation is just, putting money on the table, doing something that I love, something I can be happy doing. So,
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you can't teach passion, so you've got it. That's awesome. So your wrestling background and whatnot, I mean, like we talked about, or I mentioned in your intro, you were on a pretty good tear your last couple of years of high school. So how did that transition well into you learning striking and being an MMA fighter? Why not just going a strictly grappling route?
well, at first I took a couple of knees to the face. Let's get that out the way. At first, it didn't transition the best because I was getting kneed a lot. I was almost in a wrestling stance while I was striking, but as I developed, I feel like it really helped me in the sense of understanding angles. It was something that I already was like, oh, okay, this feels familiar to get to this position to attack and et cetera. And also, I feel like with wrestling, I had a very unique mindset in how I saw, at least maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it was like, if I do this, he's going to do this, and I have this many options based on that. And that's how I would like think about my offensive attacks and everything. And I just translate that over to striking with the micro reactions, feints, all the different. It's just a lot faster pace with striking. It's very quick. It's, a millisecond of time compared to wrestling's more of, you set up your shot. It takes a second to finish. It's a little bit more grit, but striking is just fast. You just pop. And that's the only difference for me, I think, is that it's not any different than finding an angle for your takedown and then finding the angle for your punch. So I feel like that's where it transitions well.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure the cardio and the endurance does a great deal as well for it.
That definitely helps. But I actually wasn't in good shape when I first got to the gym. I had a lot of weight to lose, a lot of, ground to cover from where I was back when, I was in my prime, if you want to call it, back in high school when I was wrestling. And, I came a long way with myself even from that point being, as out of shape as I got and just coming back to what I am now. It's, it's meant a lot to me. Should prove it to myself that I can do it again. So, yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome. Like, definitely got to prove it to yourself before you can prove it to other people sometimes. So, that's awesome. GL3, you got any
I got one.
questions you were gonna?
So fighting out of Wichita, what's your like game plan as far as long-term goals? Are you one of these guys that likes to stay like loyal to the gym you're fighting out of? Do you plan on like expanding and going and seeing different gyms like over time? Or because you see that a lot of the time where guys will start to pick and go to different places, even for just more experience and to train with some kind of different guys. Would you kind of stick to the gym you're at and kind of see where you can go from there? Or I guess that's my question.
So that honestly, it all kind of depends as far as which city. I know for a fact that Wichita isn't going to be the place I stay forever, even in the near future. maybe another year or two in Wichita, and I want to start also branching out and fighting more, not so local. Getting my name more places than just Wichita. So I mean, obviously the goal is always to expand wherever the best competition is. I like being the small fish in the pond because I always end up rising and adapting to that next level. I'll get my ass kicked for a couple weeks, but eventually I'm going to start catching those guys that were beating me. And, that's my goal. That's how I've always improved. And whether it's Kansas City, Texas, somewhere in Houston, Dallas, something like that, or if we go to New Mexico or California is kind of the options that I'm looking at as far as gyms. So definitely no shortage of good gyms in any of those places. And I'm looking forward to, wherever I end up in the future, definitely as far as what fight team I'm going to be a part of. And as far as that goes, next gen martial fight team, the one I'm a part of currently, I love those guys. I'm always going to be coming back through Wichita, coming to train with them, and also vouching for the people that are currently coming up through there. Like one of my goals is to use my platform to help my teammates and the people that I care about to also, everybody can eat. Everybody can eat if they're working hard. So
I like that. That's a good mentality to have. Also, I see
Reach.
your nickname GomeyBear. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yes.
How did that
No,
develop?
not the. I got to tell the
behind.
story again. Okay, so he asked me this last time we talked about the nickname. So basically, I was a freshman, and this is gonna sound. Just hear me out, all right? They were talking about it was all these seniors or upperclassmen talking about strippers, and we were in the weight room, and they started giving each other, stripper names, and they said that I would be something short or sweet, short and sweet but aggressive, and like a bear, like a gummy bear or gummy bear, and then my last name's Gomez. And after that, it just kind of stuck. So what we would do is everybody had, their intimidating nickname or whatever. And before they went to go wrestle, we would all put our hands on their shoulder and we would break out to that nickname before they went to the mat. So unfortunately, I got all the hands placed on my shoulder and they broke the gummy bear. So I can't tell you how many times I saw people go like, what'd they say? What'd they call him? But yeah, then it just stuck and I made it my Instagram handle, and after that, the rest is history. So shout out my homie Carter Nold. I'll never forget. He's the one who did that nickname. So he's actually in a band, Nuclear Football. If you guys want to look up Nuclear Football on Apple Music, they're a rock band. So check out their stuff. That's my boy Carter Nold. He's a drummer.
Heck yeah, we'll have to check that out.
You've been, I've only talked to you for 20 minutes now, but, even just you describing about how you want to like help the younger guys, like throughout your home gym come up and, grow. Your guys are in a band, and you're shouting them out and stuff, man. You seem like a really good dude. And that's, I like that shit too,
Oh yeah, man. I try to.
Cool.
I like this. I got a little philosophy that there's a big difference and everybody's nice. Nobody wants to be a mean person, quote unquote, but very few people are kind and take time out of their day to be kind people. So if you have a chance to like provide and give back to someone, even as simple as a little shout out right here, it's always good to do it and take the time to do it. So
I told you, disclaimer, look, I'm gonna come back on this. I had the privilege of spending like 30 minutes on the phone with this kid the other day and just gets it, bro. Like, if you're not paying attention to Devin Gomez, like we all preach, watch the regional MMA. I could barely probably find Wichita, Kansas on a map, and I'm a fairly intelligent individual. I know whereabouts it's at, but I couldn't pinpoint in on it, right? But you should be paying the fuck attention to the amateurs and the regionals and support your local fighters, because some of these guys are solid, salt of the earth human beings with truly incredible stories. And just venture outside your comfort zone a little bit and learn some new things and pay attention to these guys and follow them and just support them, because they're solid, salt of the earth human beings in a fucking world full of snakes.
Thank you for that, man. Thank you. Hey, you had to pop back in here real quick.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Price pops on back on the screen. He's always comes in, fires up.
Hey, I hear and see everything, motherfuckers. Don't forget it. I'm always here.
As quickly
He's
as
always
appeared,
watching.
he disappeared.
As quickly as I came in, I'm out.
He's vanished.
No, I'm telling you, next time you need to get like some pink shorts and come out to like Barbie Girl or something and be the Gummy Bear and just like psych people out. Like, who is this dude? Oh
Oh,
man.
yeah.
So yeah,
Not
you
the
taught. I
same.
mean, we were talking about the camaraderie and stuff like that. We had some other guys of yours, and I've talked to at least one of them fighting on that ETFC card as well. Just
Mhm.
tell me about the energy about that and how that felt with being able to ride in with your team and take some wins and losses and yeah, tell me how that was, the energy with it.
Oh, I mean, I actually made a post on my Instagram talking about how some of my favorite moments are, after every single fight, it ends up being my favorite moments are beforehand with my teammates and my coaches, either whether it's before we're really locked in and we're kind of just laughing and wasting time since they make you show up to the fights at freaking 4 o'clock for some reason. And, that's one of some of my favorite parts is just those memories we have in there. And then obviously, the calmness, the stillness, getting prepared to go fight. It's a special moment you share with those people that are around you, and everyone handles it differently. So it's important to be there for your teammates and make sure they're prepared to fight, confident in themselves. So yeah, it was cool. I loved being the last fight. I loved closing it out. That was awesome. That felt natural.
Closing it out
Felt
with a
like I was
bang
supposed to
too.
be
Yeah,
there.
that had
Yeah.
to feel good. So then you're talking about like into the confidence and whatnot. So tell me, what kind of fighter are you? Do you get the nerves and kind of have to shake them off before your fight, or does everything kind of drown
Dude,
out once you make that walk?
dude, I'm happy like 3 times a year. I live for this. I see those lights and I feel that pressure, and it's just like I love it. It makes me feel alive. It's great. I there's literally never I'm at a loss for words even talking about it right now. Nothing I'd rather be doing is being locked in a cage out there trying to beat the shit out of somebody. So
That's
it's what I
awesome.
live
Yeah.
for. So
You just talk to some people and they're like, I love it, but it like, I still have the butterflies or whatever and have to remind myself they're nervous too and this and that. And then there's some people
yeah,
that just say it just they walk the walk and the lights come on and it just drowns out. They don't hear the crowd and they're ready to go. So,
yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
everybody gets nervous, and I feel like I
Oh
get
yeah.
nervous. I feel like I feel genuine anxiety when it's time when there's still work to be done. Whenever if there's a chance that I can be like, I'm gonna skip this today, or I'm gonna. That's when I get anxious because that's when you can screw it up. When it's fight night, all the work you've done is what mattered. You can't change the outcome now. So that's kind of how I feel. And I think if you feel those butterflies, it's like that famous. Everyone's heard that famous John Jones quote. It's if you feel butterflies and learn how to use it, it benefits you.
Put
And
them
for
in
me, it's like
formation.
if your body's anxious, if you're feeling anxious and you're nervous, that just means you're ready. You're about to go fight. This is the one time, that it makes sense to have anxiety. You're not doing your taxes or sending an email. You're about to go fight somebody. You should be a little bit anxious. So use that to your advantage.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie. I'm an anxious individual, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
remember that too. I'm gonna
Yep.
put that one in the bolt because I get anxious
Yep.
before training
Save that one
sometimes
for
when I see
later.
it's all the big boys that came to class. I'm like, God damn, man, like
Yep.
I'm gonna have
You're
to work
supposed to
tonight.
be, right?
Yeah, right. No, that's a good perspective to have, man. So, yeah. So it sounds like you're staying busy on the amateur scene. So, like, and you're talking about like within a year, probably maybe moving. Like, what's a reasonable timeline then if you're staying active like this and keeping it up like this with you going pro?
Well, I mean, I'd love to get an amateur belt,
Easy.
for sure. Right before I go pro, I feel like that'd be a nice little stepping stone. And Synergy, they have a belt. They have a belt thing that they do, a little circuit tournament that I'd love to be part of. So Synergy, if you want to,
Get this
June
guy.
21st, get me on there. I'd appreciate it. But
We're
yeah,
gonna
so
clip this
get
and
get an
tag him
Emmy
in
belt. Hey, please do, please do. I
it.
think I'll get the matchmaker's at. I can't remember his name right now. I think it's Chris Greger or something. Chris,
We're gonna
can't
be
remember.
sending him this. Like
Yeah,
we
I'll
got we
send it to
got
you
a
later. I
guy,
will.
bro.
We're gonna clip this out for sure. But realistically, I want to have 3 or 4 more fights, maybe 5, depending on the timeline. But 3 or 4 more amateur fights before I go pro, and that's maybe another year or two. And I want to, depending on how active I stay. And the hardest part, like I said, is finding somebody to. If I could fight every weekend and be healthy enough to, I would, because that's what I was used to with wrestling. Just
Hmm.
every weekend I was competing. So I'm hungry like that. I'm ready to go like that. So my goal is just to stay in fight shape, and whatever opportunities pop up, take them. Go get my record.
Yeah,
You heard it
I don't
here.
have
He's
much
ready.
Line them up. Line them up. I'm working hard. I'm putting in the work. If you sign up to fight me, just know you better be putting in the work too.
It's a good mentality to have, man. I don't know if you were a fight fan or watch a whole lot of UFC and stuff, but Diego Lopez, look what he's done in 2 years, and people, the bosses out there love that attitude, and they'll really start to feed the guys that have that attitude, and it's already ingrained in you, so that's good.
Like I said, you can't teach it. There's certain things you can push people to be, and there's certain things that you can kind of pull back and teach them to control it. And passion is one of those things you got to teach people to control. And if you got it, you got it. And if you don't, you don't. So
and it's all about how if you truly deep down believe that you're a lazy individual and that you slack off and that things are too hard, that's how you're gonna feel. Even if you're doing things right and you're making progress at first, you're gonna not feel like you're supposed to be there. But I truly believe this is right where I'm supposed to be. So it's easy for me to wake up and, be ready to go, be passionate about this. I think everybody should find something in their life that they have that same energy towards. So
for sure. Yeah. Well, I guess we're getting, close to the end of our segment here with you. But I guess
he's hanging. He's hanging. We're gonna do 314. He's just kind of hanging. This is way more of an interview than I thought it was gonna be. But you know what? Fuck it. I like the clips, so we're gonna keep rocking. Lazy. Shout out to Lazy still in the comments. Shout out to the millions of people that have been on Instagram. Of course, Chelsea Verzi. The only reason she tunes in is for GL3. If he wasn't watching, I don't think she'd see it today. Strikes a lot.
So I was just about to ask Devin. You said you and your girlfriend have been together, so talk about that. Talk about maybe the support system you got behind you, and you see all the time, man. Conor McGregor with D. Devlin, Poirier, his wife, like having that female there to just support you throughout your dreams and aspirations. What's that like?
How's that been going?
Perfect. I don't know. I'd be running around like a chicken with my head cut off if I didn't have her. Honestly, it's funny. Her family actually calls her she's like my girlfriend and my manager, so they call her the girlfriendager. And like it's real though, because she's also a personal trainer like me, and the gym that she works at is Amplify, and I have a sponsorship and partnership with the owner of that, and we do she trains our fight team, and she has all kinds of benefits just directly with actual training us to be better fighters. And then the perks that I get, she can cook, phenomenal food, clean eats all the time, making sure that my weight cuts go well. So, and it's a support, like you said, no matter what, win or lose, if I go out there, which I'm not going to lose, I work too hard, but I know regardless of the outcome, she's going to be there, outside of that cage, no matter what happens. So it's peace, it's bliss, like knowing you have that. And having someone there to pick you up when you're down, and not just her, but her whole entire family, really like came in and became this huge support system for me. And I know every single time I fight, and they're probably watching, some of them watching this stream right now, so huge support system. And it's like you said, thank you for bringing that up, because they all deserve a shout out. And Bella, my girlfriend, she definitely does too. So,
Nice. For sure. It always
Bella, you just got your props. You're welcome.
Yeah. Shout out Bella.
Always helps a lot too in goals.
Actually, you know what? If you guys want to follow, speaking of her goals being aligned, her fitness page is Bella in Fitness on Instagram. Bella.inFitness. If you guys want to check that out, she posts stuff for her gym and all her training content. So if you need an online trainer, you need workout plans or anything like that, hit her up. She'll get you right. She'll make you punch harder.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, we'll have to check that out for sure. All right. Well, I guess we got UFC 314 going down this weekend. I don't know if Price wants to hop back in and talk about it, but
I mean, I could talk about it. I don't need to be on camera. It's all good.
He's a little shy.
No, look, full disclosure, you already know, Daddy's been working on shit behind the scenes, and I'm a little fucking busy, and I literally sat down here tonight and said, okay, what's going on this weekend in UFC so we can cover it. And then I was like, oh fuck, it's 314 week. Like we did 3 drops today, 1 drop on Monday with Sav Jelly. Shout out to Sav. This guy didn't make the design process any easier because he's a consummate professional and he treats everything as such. So I wouldn't expect any less from Devin Gomez. But going back and forth trying to lock ideas down with this guy. His drops live Friday, ChkM8MMA.com. I got partner coffee stuff going on. I got, and then every great once in a while I get a message going, hey, I'm stuck at work, put a fucking post up on Instagram for me. So I got to try and do that. I've been a little busy. So I will be sitting down to tune into probably at least the main card this week. I'm not promising I'm going to watch the prelims, but
I am.
Good. Well, I'm glad somebody is. So just know where that content's coming from.
Heck, come on. Well, looking at it right here, I'm guessing you watched some UFC, Mr. Gomez, down there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know if my heart can handle another Volk loss. So I got faith in him, but man, I saw a video of Diego Lopez hitting those mids the other day, and I was just like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. After the head kick KO, and the Ilya KO, I was like, oh.
Well,
pain.
I hate to use it as an excuse. I'm not trying to use it as an excuse, but it is a valid thing. The man cut 13 kilos, and I only say 13 kilos as an American because I heard this from someone else. But he cut 13 kilos in 11 days. That's
Tanner, stop.
So many
stop right
pounds.
There, stop.
I'm gonna have to
Tanner,
convert
if
this.
You're gonna say 13 kilos, you need to know how many pounds it is, bro, to back that shit up. Don't look it up. Stop Googling it.
I told you I was gonna look it up.
He's doing it right now. Oh, that's so funny.
He cut 30 pounds in 11 days. That's crazy.
Tanner, never in 79 episodes have you ever heard you refer to anything outside the metric. Like, what are you starting to say? Are you gonna spell color with a U now? Like, what the fuck are you ever here doing? Guy talks about Wells.
I told you I only said it because I heard someone else say it, but nonetheless, 30 pounds, 11 days. He got knocked out. Is what it is. I don't know. I don't hold that against him too much. Ilya Topuria. Yeah. I mean, the guy's calling his shots. What can you say?
He's just clean, man. So technical with his striking, his boxing.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes one of the quotes, I think Dave Chappelle said it or something. You have to be smart enough to know when you're living your dream and humble enough to know when you're living someone else's. And Ilya Topuria right now is just living his dream. He's called his shots and he's put pen to paper and he's put the work in. He's just doing what he said he's going to do. I mean, regardless of how you feel about the guy, it's been really remarkable to watch.
Oh, he's a beast.
Oh yeah, and I like Ilya. I love what he's doing in the game right now.
I don't know how people hate him.
No, I don't either. I don't know how you can.
I don't understand how fight fans people hated Conor McGregor again. Yeah, but everybody is to sell it over the top.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
completely.
Look at we were 10 feet off Jeremy Stevens, getting ready to get in a fist fight with half the fucking crowd in Philly, and the first thing he does is go over and apologize to fuck. It's selling. They're selling the fight and there's selling the fight, but I don't understand how anybody can. Again, first of all, there's the Spanish aspect of it, and I mean Spanish from Spain. So there's a fine line between cocky and confident, and them motherfuckers know how to tiptoe on either side of it. And if you don't understand that, people may come off a certain way, but it's like oozing machismo. There's just a fine line between these guys, and he just runs it. And again, the guy's got fuck you money already. He's a world champion. Mm-hmm. He gave away the fucking belt. He's just doing what the fuck he wants to do.
Dude, what I like is he's out here. He just, he won the featherweight title, defended it, and he's still talking about how, he's not going to be out here smoking. He's not going to be out here drinking, except for his glass of wine as he weight cuts, which I think is hilarious. But he's out here preaching that he's still going to work hard and achieve his goals and be a good example for people, which that just means more fights for us to watch. So not going to fall off.
Active.
Heck
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not even fighting this weekend, and we just spent 5 minutes fucking talking about the guy.
Yeah.
Dumas versus Oleg Shashik tops off the early prelims. I'm not going to go the whole way back. I'm just going to burn some names here, and then if I kind of get through something...
That's about the one there that I'm probably the most 50-50 on. Like, Michael has so much knockout power, and he has good first-round finishes, but... I don't know. We've seen a lot of development from Cedriquez Dumas to get some wins together and work on his striking a little bit, which is what worries me, thinking that Michael could get the KO. But I don't know. Like, part of my gut tells me that STS is going to show up pretty well to this one.
GL3, what do you got on Dumas, bro?
Honestly, not much on Dumas. But for the Michael out of Poland, I've watched him fight a couple times now. I feel like he's been kind of a 50-50 guy every time that I've watched him. And I feel like he'll be better on the ground than Dumas. Am I mistaken in saying that? I feel like if it goes to the ground, that's where we'll have the advantage.
Looking at some stats right here, it's actually, looking like Michael's going to have the grappling advantage on the stats by a slight margin, nothing too significant. Both guys in the 30 to 40% range for takedown accuracy and defense. So, yeah, that's why I say, like, this is probably the one that I'm most, like, the 50-50 on, but not a gambling show. I'll say it since Bill's not here.
What did we look up what our new friends at Fight Signal had to say about that fight, Tanner? Are you kind of like Fight Signaling us up while we're doing this?
Yeah, I was looking at that's where I'm getting my stats, dog. I was waiting until the end of the show to announce it. I was gonna be like, and if you want to get stats like we brought you here in the show,
well, don't give it away, Tanner. Don't give it away.
But,
Darren Elkins versus Juicy J, Julian Erosa. Darren Elkins you can get Darren's for plus. Darren Elkins
my
plus
underdog of the
280
night
right
right here. Darren Elkins at plus 280 is crazy. Not a gambling show, but I mean, plus 280 is wild.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't throw a little bit of money on Emmett too, dude. I think I'm done betting on 40-year-olds. It's kind of one of these things. I'm just kind of like, listen, man.
I don't know. Darren Elkins just has that style, man, like when he did with Daniel Pineda, and we've seen Juicy J have some problems in the grappling area before, and I don't know, Elkins just has that wear and tear style. He'll take you down and he'll beat the shit out of you.
I mean, shout out to Jamal Hill, because until he came along, that was probably the worst tattoo. And I'm not one to criticize people's tattoos. I got some shitty tattoos, right? Shout out to Jamal Hill because until he came along, Darren Elkins might have had the most cringiest tattoo in the entire.
Haven't gotten to Diego Lopez.
Mario Yamasaki hands for fucking Jamal Hill's thumbs here, bro. Moving off of Darren Elkins, Julian Erosa, Jim Miller, Chase Hooper. What's going to happen here? We don't know.
The obvious answer is out with the old and in with the new, but Jim Miller says "fuck your stats" and knocks people out. So I mean,
hey,
what do you say?
I know you said you're done betting on 40-year-olds.
I know. I'm hammering Jim Miller. This is
not a gambling show, but you can get old Jim effing fucking Miller over here for plus 550. We're gonna put some money on old Jim this weekend.
Jim might have heard you, man. He's gonna get the knockout now.
He's taking a 20. He's getting a 20 off me for sure.
Plus 550. I'd like to get into ESPN Bet and really see when they have like the Jim Miller by KO. It might be like plus 1400. I might grab it or something real quick. Yan Shannon. I guess this is a title eliminator. Yan Shannon, women's strawweight. Yan Shannon versus Verna Jandiroba. Huh?
Oh wait, no. Dave. What is it?
Rob Schneider.
Yeah,
it's Rob Schneider. You can do it. Brady English asked if Nate Diaz is going to get paid for that boxing bout. It's hard. Look, it's hard to tell, bro. That way out of left field, Brady. I don't even know what's going on. way out of left field. You can get Yan Shannon for plus 124 too. Like some of
that's
these
not
numbers, bad.
I mean,
some of these numbers, I feel like you can bang an all dog fucking parlay.
And hey, dog, we'll get to Reyes. Reyes is an underdog right now. You can hit the Elkins Reyes parlay for, I think, I don't even. What was it?
I
At
just
plus
don't know
800
where
right
these
now.
numbers are coming. And I understand this. Dan Ige ranked number 15 in the world, biggest balls in the UFC, Mr. 4-hour notice, 50K against Sean Woodson, and they got Dan Ige.
Okay, but
The height
Sean
difference.
Woodson though, like I feel like this guy is really under the radar. This guy's a former
Look,
professional
not everybody.
boxer.
It's not you at jiu-jitsu. Not everybody's scared of the bigger guy. I don't know if that means a fucking different. It's Sean
I'm not
Woodson.
saying the bigger guy. I'm saying his professional boxing skills. Like we've seen this guy take out a guy with body shots. We've seen this guy break people down. I mean,
I'm not. I understand. I kind of understand it a little bit. I'm just kind of sitting here saying, put some respect on Dan Ige's name.
no, for
Like,
sure, 100%. But like I think the odds might be a little correct here. Not a gambling show.
Woodson's one of the guys, man, where, weighing 145 pounds, 6'2" with a 78-inch reach is absurd. That's going to be a hard match versus anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially somebody with the striking caliber that Sean Woodson has, and not to mention this guy has an 86% takedown defense rate. Like it's not all, just take him down and get him down. Like, good luck.
63, and he's got a 63% takedown accuracy too. 59% significant strike defense, 84% takedown defense. Damn near 6 significant strikes landed a minute. The
on
guy
a 6-fight win streak right now.
is it
The
Momentum is a son of a bitch in MMA.
Or no, it's a decision. I was thinking of the Jourdain fight. That was a split decision. And then you had the Saldana fight, which was a draw. Yeah, I mean, and again, as far as like depth of resume, not hateful either.
No, but this
Gomi,
is Sean
what do you
Woodson's
got? You're
chance
just
to
sitting
break
down there
in the
being all
rankings.
quiet, buddy. What do you got? What's the view?
I'm just
What's the
listening to
view?
these stats right now, man. I think Dan Ige can pull anything out because, like how you said, he's just a dog. But it's gonna be hard.
No,
the
definitely a
striking,
challenge,
the striking, and the boxing skill is gonna be something to get past for sure. And it's like you said, he's not just gonna be able to take the guy down. Not without actually setting it up. Maybe using some of his striking to, maybe you slip and use your counters off striking to get to your takedowns. But it's not just gonna be quick.
Hey, we got a shorter fighter. That means he needs to just get to the legs, pick them ankles.
Yep. And stay inside too. He can't stay at range and try and relax and rest. Like Dan Ige is gonna have to keep the pressure on the whole fight. That's how it is when you're fighting somebody taller than you. You can't let them breathe because that's when they're gonna be able to see how they can pick you apart. So
Yeah, he needs to keep.
he's gonna
Woodson
have
on the
to
back,
keep. Hopefully,
get
he has a
inside,
gas tank.
push him
So
back. I don't doubt that he
Dan
does.
Ige's got the gas tank for sure. We saw that with him stepping up, on 5 hours notice at Noche. So I mean,
ready
I don't
to
have any
go.
doubt
So.
about the gas tank.
Yeah.
Dude, how stacked is 145 about to be in a couple years? How stacked is 145 already now? Pico, Evelev, Pitbull, Silva, all these guys coming up. It's sick.
145 has had such
All
a
these new
graceful. It's had such a graceful transition into the new guard too. Like I say graceful when we're talking about also
I mean,
Ilya
Volk.
and
Yeah, I
knocking
wouldn't say
out
graceful.
Volk and Max.
Volk
But
wouldn't say it was fucking graceful.
But I
He'd
mean,
say,
it
what
was.
the fuck just happened? He
We
said
got
what
things
happened,
shook
and then it
up
was
though.
over. Yeah.
But I mean, like I don't know, like in the lightweight division, the one above, that's equally, one of the more entertaining, more equally challenging divisions. These older guys aren't getting put out. Like Justin Poirier has been sitting around the top 5 for the last 6 years. Like
You're also a hair behind. You're also a hair behind the top 10 in lightweight, having some new. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to figure, Justin Gaethje gets a title shot. He could hang around, but I don't know if he needs to. You know what I'm saying? He's got other stuff going on. So like, if Justin Gaethje decides after this title run that it's not worth doing if he's not getting a title, and he steps off, and DP steps off, you got two of the last generation kind of hanging out here in the top 10. That's going to create some chaos at 55. I mean, 70 has the potential with everything going on. It's just an exciting time for a lot of different weight divisions right now. Speaking of exciting, Dominic Reyes at plus 150 against Nikita Krylov. I didn't even realize Nikita Krylov was still ranked number 8. That's where I was at with it.
he's been up and down in the division. He's kind of like, like you say, it's not a bad thing, but kind of the journeyman gatekeeper around the lower 10 of the
you could easily be sitting in the top 5, and because of inactivity or an injury or something like else, you can get pushed back to the top 10 depending on movement in the division. It's really out of no course of your own. It's you got to take the call when you can get the call, but sometimes you can't. speaking of taking a call, Bryce Mitchell, John Silva, another fighting nerd possibly gets another number next to their name. I also want to point out when Carlos Prates entered the rankings, it was at number 13. Bryce Mitchell's ranked number 13 right now. So, I mean, if sometimes there's coincidence, sometimes there's stats. There's no AI analysis for that.
But you can look this one up and down. I think you're going to come to the same conclusion. Bryce Mitchell does not fare well against powerful punchers who can cut angles. Ilia Topuria, Josh Emmett, he was undefeated until he got into the rankings. But I mean, still, like those, I think those are his only 2 losses. I don't remember who his third one is, but that's his weakness. And I mean, what do we see from Gene Silva? A power puncher that can defend takedowns. I think Bryce Mitchell's only hope in this is that he gets a grab on John Silva, and I don't see it being easy.
I mean, he needs to get him down. If he has any hope of anything, he needs to get him down while he's still dry and work his magic. Like, again, for Bryce Mitchell, for you to grab Bryce Mitchell, and again, this is not a gambling show, but these numbers tonight, like, where's Bill? Bryce Mitchell at plus 225. I'm not saying don't pay your mortgage this month and put all the money on Bryce Mitchell. I would never say that. I'm just simply saying some of these numbers at plus money, this is why people have problems with gambling, because it's like, come on, throw $20 on Bryce Mitchell at plus 225.
I will say this, with what I have said, I've never seen probably Bryce Mitchell more locked in for a fight. Like, seeing him at the press conference, seeing him in his interviews, he just not mentally askew, anything, just completely zoned in and ready to go. Obviously, we've seen with his internet antics, he doesn't give a solid fuck about what people think about him. Like, the people counting him out, people wanting him to get slept, people calling him out for whatever. Like, he doesn't care about that. Like, he is completely locked in for the task at hand.
You know what's so crazy is I remember watching The Ultimate Fighter whenever he was on it with DC and Stipe's season. And, dude, he was just that guy. He made a custom fucking bow and arrow. Everybody in the house loved him. And now he's got all these haters, dude. And it's like, I just hope this one's a good fight. Like, you know, you see it all the time with like all this crazy beef in these fights, and then they end up kind of both coming out and kind of stalemating. I just hope this one's a good one, man.
Well, I mean, look, here's the deal. For all intents and purposes, people that I hold in high regard in the game, guys like Mike Stewart, a couple different guys, but namely, I'll name Mike Stewart out because I know if I brought him in on the show live right now, I'd say the same thing. There's been so many people that personally know Bryce that speak so fucking highly of him. Now, with that being said, I fishing partners, like fishing buddy. Like,
I'm going to be honest. I think Sean Strickland hit the nail on the head.
It is
too much time on the internet. Go down many rabbit holes, and you're
it is.
Find
again, it is. Look, you can be a fan of somebody's work ethic and not agree with everything they say, and that's all I got to say about it. There's been plenty of people that I hold in high regard that speak highly of Bryce Mitchell. Again, questionable, some stuff. You just look. Me, I'm the king of saying questionable shit on the internet. We know this. Tanner's been there. Tanner's had to edit shit out on the back end because of private messages we got. Okay, I've been there, done that. Right? Don't give a fuck either. The point is, there's just some shit that even I know you shouldn't fucking say. But he's 10 toes deep on business at plus 225. This is not a gambling show, but at plus 225, the guys, look, you can't count a guy like that out.
Yeah, he's an elite fighter. Yeah.
You can't. He's just, you can't. And much to what GomeyBear said earlier at this show, mental fortitude, bro. Again, he may have problems with guys that work angles. He may have problem if he gets backed up. But if he can keep the pressure on Silva, get inside and work something, that plus 225 is definitely feasible.
So would you say you would bet the farm on Bryce Mitchell?
I don't own a farm, so it wouldn't be. I'm not a farmer.
Yeah,
and,
he just said that. He just said that in his latest press interview. He's like, I tell the buddies, bet the farm on me, man. Bet the farm on me.
I don't know. I think Price really hit the nail on the head. Like, I mean, as much as like the stats, the history, everything is leaning towards Gene Silva, the momentum and everything. Bryce Mitchell is definitely just as live of a dog in this one as anybody else.
Bro, this
if
isn't
not more
this
than
isn't
anybody
football.
else. I mean, honestly,
This isn't
like he is.
This
dialed
isn't
in.
Tom Brady's. This isn't Tom Brady's New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills for the Super Bowl. Like on any given night, anything can fucking happen. Anything. Look, even Crone Gracie, I didn't expect that to happen. Bryce Mitchell's last fight, like, I didn't expect it to happen. I was like, oh, okay, cool, 2 jiu-jitsu guys. They'll probably, nope. Like, who expected that? Like, he's capable of being a savage. I wouldn't have expected it. I wouldn't have expected it the way it happened. I'm not saying the outcome.
After the first round, I kind of expected it. It was kind of.
Well, I'm saying, once you see a little bit of what's going on, I'm saying prior to, up until the moment where the betting odds closed, is kind of what I was talking about. Nobody
Well,
saw
either
that.
way, Bryce Mitchell, thank you from jiu-jitsu guys who hate guard players everywhere.
Yeah. That's all right. But yeah, so shout out to Bryce Mitchell. We'll say a prayer for you, buddy. This is probably my dark horse excited fight of the night. Like,
Dude, this card is
Patricio,
so
Patricio Pitbull making his UFC debut. I saw him in the UFC shorts today. I've been a proponent of trying to get some of these Bellator guys to UFC for I can't tell you how long. But Jair Rodriguez marching back towards the top in that stacked, like Hater said, featherweight division. This just is another piece of the puzzle that makes it definitely more interesting. Tanner, what do you got on Patricio Pitbull versus Jair Rodriguez?
I gotta go with Pitbull, honestly. Like, personal opinion, because I mean, Yair is flashy. He's got that Al Capoeira style. He's got those great kicks and I mean some highlight knockouts. But I mean, in the end, we've seen time and time again that fighters that are able to pressure him and not let him keep his range and grind on him and wear on him with the grappling and the strikes and mixing it up very well and staying inside the pocket, that he doesn't hold up against it. And Patricio Pitbull, even though he's 36, 38, he has exactly that style that's tailored to grind guys like Yair Rodriguez down, and that's just how I feel.
43 professional fights, 36-7, 12 wins by knockout, 12 wins by submission, 12 first round finishes.
Quite the resume.
94% takedown defense. 60% significant strike defense. There's a reason. Look, I don't often tout on Bellator fighters, and again, on this channel, everybody that makes the walk gets respect. I don't tout on a lot of or all Bellator fighters, but Patricio Pitbull is one of those guys that should have been here 5 years ago. Michael Venom Page is a guy that should have been here 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, free Johnny Eblen, free Patchy Mix, like free the homies down here. Like,
Shout out Aaron
cut these
Pico
contracts.
signing.
Yeah, Aaron Pico is a guy that
Pico.
should have been there 5 years ago. Jason Jackson, a guy that should be over here now. Like, wasting the prime of their careers. And again, everybody that makes the walk gets respect, and there's different leagues for everybody, and I'm just glad there's options for fighters. But come on, guys. Like,
Dude, I think this fight is going to be everything. I like that. Sean Woodson and Dan Ige. That my prediction with that is Woodson's going to be, able to stay on the outside and pick them apart. I think this fight's going to be the complete opposite of that. I think Pitbull is going to be able to get inside, throw bombs, close the distance, and kind of just grind out Yair and get the win in this one.
Yeah. What do you think, Gomi?
yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's the same thing. I just think back to the fight with Yair and Volk and how he was able to, he landed strikes during the change of exchanges between the grappling and striking, right? And that's where Yair is vulnerable, I think, where maybe he can defend the takedown, but he's going to get caught with another combination coming out, and then the takedown's there again. Just like how he did on the cage. Volk got him down, transitioning from strikes up top to the takedown to back up to punches. And yeah, I think that as long as he stays inside and pressures Yair, unfortunately, because I like Yair, I like watching him fight. I think Pitbull gets the win as well.
Now, would you guys think it's a loss for Pitbull? Obviously, if he would lose the fight, but would you guys think it's a loss for Pitbull if Yair wins the fight by points, but Pitbull shows, like, I belong with these guys, Yair's in the top 5, and he puts on just a crazy, it's a good fight and a stellar performance, mixes in takedowns, lands.
not every
I'm
loss
always a
is an L.
proponent. It's not always about winning. It's about how hard you fight. And that's, I think, really what matters. I mean, why do you think Michael Chandler is still so popular? I mean, the guy has been losing. He's fighting the co-main event of this awesome pay-per-view card, and it's not necessarily because he's been winning fights. Like, I mean, it's definitely about entertainment and value and stuff. And if Patricio can pull that out, then obviously he's got a place to stay in the UFC.
No, I mean,
I agree.
I don't. Again, not every. We're not over here talking like the experts in the groups that we're in, but like, just because you lose doesn't. As long as you learn something, you could take an L. As long as L means you're learning something, you're good. Not to sound corny, but I personally think what we just talked about the other week. Shout out to the homie Sean Brady. I personally think Sean was able to take that loss against Bilal and use it for something positive and use it to learn something about it. I think. And shout out to him too. He gets a bad rap at Ian Machado Gary. I think, again, this is MMA. I think if you're 18-0, you have more to lose than the guy that's 18-3. Like, you clearly have something to lose. You got that O to lose, but like, I don't know. I just for guys coming in, especially a guy of this caliber, I just don't know. Again, his name's Pitbull for a reason. Like, I just don't like Gomi said. I think he just pressures Jair. Maybe he doesn't get a finish. Maybe he doesn't get a spectacular knockout. Maybe he doesn't get a sub. Maybe he goes to a decision. But at the age he's at right now, where he's at, I think to be outside the UFC and still competing at that age, I think you're getting ready to see. It might take him a little bit to find his stride, but with all the services and all the access that he has to all these cutting edge technology and all these new I'm sure he's been taking advantage of it since he's been signed, but like, I think that'll make a little bit of a difference in Pitbull. I think it's why you're seeing some of these guys go past 40 a little bit too. CPI stem cells, trainers, mental health, nutritionists, all the stuff all the services that are provided to contract fighters at the PI that nobody wants to talk about when they talk about fighter pay. All this stuff matters, and I think you're going to see a little bit of a different version of Pitbull here, even though he is up there a little bit in age. There's a reason they signed him. There's a reason there's a bunch of hype around him. So time will tell Saturday. Speaking of, like he just alluded to, number 7, Michael Chandler, who you can get for plus 125 right now. Paddy Pimblett, number 12, looking to cement himself to the top. GL3 said something the other week on the live show. What about Paddy Pimblett being 2 fights away from a title fight? Tanner made some faces when we said we didn't really think that at first, then there was some confusion. But Tanner, what do you got on Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett?
Paddy by sub. I mean, honestly, Paddy has definitely evolved in his fighting. We've seen like a little bit lower in his strikes per minute, his striking approach when he comes right out of the gate. He used to come out, and we saw in his first fight he got caught with that bad shot and almost got put out. Scousers don't get knocked out apparently, but he's started slowing that down a little bit right out the gate, taking a more measured approach, he's still got good accuracy though with those more measured approach, so it's showing that, I don't know, he's evolving a lot, but his jiu-jitsu game, dude, is just phenomenal. And I mean, maybe he doesn't get the sub, but we saw with the Charles Oliveira fight that Michael Chandler, unless he's done some serious work since his last fight, bad jiu-jitsu or really good jiu-jitsu is his weak spot. And I see Paddy kind of grinding him out on the ground on this one.
I can agree with that.
What do you got? GL3, what do you got?
I'm betting on Paddy this fight. But I got kind of a hot take. I think I bet on Chandler more later in the fight in this one. More so slippy, hard to get a hold of for Paddy. I don't think his grappling is on the level of like a guy like Charles Oliveira. And Paddy, his striking's not as technical, so he's more susceptible to be a big strike be landed on him. And I think maybe in the later rounds, as the hands start to drop just a little bit, that Chandler might be able to catch him maybe later on in this fight. But if I'm betting, I'd go Paddy for sure.
Not a gambling show.
Speaking of not a gambling show, if there was ever a time to put money on young Diego Lopez, now would be the time, because you can get Diego Lopez for plus 102 right now, boys.
I don't know, man. What do you think about the Patty and Chandler fight, Gomi? I'm interested in your take on this one.
Is he frozen? Is he still?
He
there?
might.
He might be frozen. We might have lost him. Gomi, you still with us?
Oh no.
Nope, he's frozen. Or he's really good at not blinking. What if he's not frozen? He's just fucking with us.
Ah, shit.
That's
Nah,
Well,
I pulled him out.
I got another one. Just more comments about the Patty and Chandler fight. Just two crazy different approaches, like, to the top 10 of fighting, right? Like Chandler came in, started fighting these guys directly right away. Patty denied two chances to come to the UFC before he even accepted to come here, and now just kind of took a more measured, slow approach to finally reach this point.
Bill has said it. I'll play Bill here. The UFC knows what they're doing. The UFC puts these guys in positions. You know what I'm saying? Like usually when you see something like I don't know, one of the older guys with the younger guys, like I don't know. I don't articulate it as well as Bill, I guess, but the UFC puts these situations in place for a reason.
Yeah, I will. I mean, AI. Look, AI is interesting.
Super interesting on this one.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at that too. I don't.
But
It's one of these. It's one of these things where I mean, and this is multiple fights on this entire fucking card, but Volk could pull it off. Diego Lopez could pull it off. Michael Chandler could pull it off. Patty Pim. Again, on any given Saturday night, anything can fucking happen. So any of these guys, really, on either side, blue or red corner, could pull it off. But Yair Rodriguez could pull one out of his ass and show why he's number 5 in the world and tell Patricio to get to the back of the fucking line. I still think that Patricio Pitbull can hang in the top half of this top 10 of this division. So I'm not saying that all is lost for him.
But definitely might take him a little bit to get your stride. I get what you're saying. Going to the main event though, you're talking about Volk, man. Dude, part of me wants to touch this one, and part of me just wants to stay the fuck away from it, because, Volk. I mean, I have this feeling that he's gonna come out victorious on Saturday, but then I remember having this same feeling before he fought Makachev for the second time, and I was like, Volk's about to go do some legendary shit.
At the end
and
of
he
the
got
day,
knocked out. So I'm completely lost. I mean, I don't, because Lopez is game.
At the end of the day, we look at Lopez as being this young guy, this new guy. He debuted, he did this. The kid's got over 30 fights underneath his belt. You know what I'm saying? 10 wins by knockout, 12 wins by sub, 15 of those 26 wins, first round finishes.
We can easily say though, there's a difference in UFC fights though. There's a difference between getting fights in under your card in UFC and other promotions.
And there's let's see where we're at in round 4 and 5 if it gets that far.
Part of me, yeah, I feel like that's where Lopez has it the best, is in the first 3 rounds. Once he gets in that championship rounds, I mean, how many times has Volk been there?
That's what I'm saying. This is a young dude. Yeah, and again, talking about if Diego Lopez makes it here, he's already at number 3. He's got time. He might have, there's 2 ways you can play with some stuff. You can do, you can look at it as okay, he got up in the top 10 quickly. He was vaulted up. He's put in a position. If he takes an L right now, he's still banging around in the top 10 of the UFC with 3/4 of his prime ahead of him. You know what I'm saying? What you can't complain about nothing.
Yeah.
No. Volk, man, not really sure where Volk goes from here if things don't go his way Saturday, though. Honestly, he's knocking on 40. Like you said, we have seen a lot of improvements in recovery and athletes being able to take care of themselves, but not everybody's Jim Miller, not everybody's I can't think of another one off the top of my head. I mean, so
Rafael Dos Anjos, Jared Cannonier, Josh Emmett,
Yo Romero.
Look, if you can't, you just can't. You can't even say Yo Romero because you just can't, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the banner up. That's all I kind of got for the week. I'll throw the banner up and
Give a quick shout out. Get your MMA themed specialty grade. Better than most of the shit you're going to find in the grocery store. Organic, fair trade. Not sitting on a shelf. You order it, it gets roasted and sent right to your doorstep. Coffee. Worth fighting over. Get you some. ChkM8 MMA, one-stop shop. You just got to make a few clicks and it's right to your doorstep. Plus, you can check out all of our other cool stuff like we were talking about. We're going to be getting some GomeyBear merch popping up soon. Be on the lookout for that. Support your local fighters. We've got some BKFC fighters, some regional Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA fighters, all of it. Some show merch. It's been a really neat pet project for Price over here. We really appreciate him getting it together. And
I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
You want to support the fighters, this is how you do it.
Show-related stuff now. Our fresh roasted to order specialty grade MMA themed coffee, our merch, and our sponsored fighter merch and more. The all new ChkM8MMA.com is live. ChkM8 MMA. Full episodes available at ChkM8 MMA on YouTube. Clips are available on all socials, which you should be following us anyways at ChkM8 MMA. Exclusive interviews, which is where we met Mr. Devin Gomez, and content over on millions.co/ChkM8-MMA. That's where you can find us. ChkM8 MMA. Just put it in. You'll find it somewhere. We appreciate you guys. I got a good deal with some order stuff going on right now.
While we're at it, though, I do just want to shout out, if you want to get some stats like the ones we were able to pull up really quickly and easily and go over nice, check out fightsignal.com. Don't give the website a whirl. They boast 85% pick rate with their AI-powered fight analysis. That is for the subscription. You use our code ChkM8MMA and you get half off for your first month. You can easily make the money back with that, though, with these AI picks. Great pick rate. Easy flow and maneuver, too, if you can see here. Got some nice little stats there. Pretty cool.
More coming on that soon. We got no graphics. We got no nothing ready, but fightsignal.com. Sign up. If you're going to pay for a plan and you want to pay for a plan, you like what you see, use the code ChkM8 MMA, ChkM8 MMA, and we will have more on that later. Bookwalter will be back with us next week, and I have confirmed Elijah Harris with the 4th fastest knockout in BKFC history from right here in the 717, my backyard, GL3, a little bit further away from GL3, but pretty much right in my backyard. Elijah Harris, BKFC fighter, former CFFC fighter, pro MMA. Live next week, 7:30 Wednesday. Look for it on socials, and we will see you guys next week. Till then, we're out.
Next time, guys.